Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while since I dropped a new episode. This year has been off to a crazy, amazing, incredible start, but I haven't been back in the studio yet to record some new episodes. As you can probably tell, I'm doing this from home. But I did, in the meantime, want to present you guys with something special. So, for those of you who don't know, I ask all my guests 2 questions at the end of the episodes. And today we're cutting together all the answers from question number 1, which is this: what currently in your life is giving you the most amount of peace? Now, the answers to this have been incredible. They've been powerful. They've been eye opening for me. And it's a question that I really didn't think about till I was a person in the hospital and really had to look in the mirror and really think about what did give me peace in my life. So it's a question that I knew I had to ask my guests on every episode. And so this one today is all of their answers put together. So hopefully you enjoy it. I hate that we have to do this, but truly, it really does help the podcast grow. And this year, we're trying more than ever to spread the message of you can overcome adversity, you can challenge those negative thoughts in your head, and brighter days are ahead for you and everybody, really, if you are willing to put in the work and confront your own dark side. So, with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe this episode. I would really, really appreciate it. Again, we're really trying to grow this year. And please stay tuned because we're going to be following up this episode with a supercut of question 2, which is, if you don't know, you'll have to stay tuned to find out. Or you can just go back and watch some previous episodes. All right, aloha. Please enjoy this one. What is giving you the most peace?
The fulfillment that I know that I'm making a difference in this world. Life is going to go on. You're going to adapt and you're going to push through. Some way, somehow, and I'm be there every second. Like I always tell people, I'm going to hold your hand every way. A lot of people not going to hold your hand. I'm going to hold your hand. And then I'll let go when I think you don't need your hand held anymore.
What gives me the most peace is knowing how many people care about me and would do so much for me, because when I think like, what am I going to do when my parents get older, or like, what's going to happen if this happens? I just know that I have such an army of people behind me that are willing to help in any situation. So that really helps, knowing like the amount of support I have from friends, family, and the community.
I would say doing a consistent routine that is making me incrementally take step towards my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal being at the end of whenever my life is, that I made a positive contribution to society and spread more love than hate. And so I keep that at the forefront and try to have a routine that reflects that objective. And I find myself happiest when I'm creating. I find myself happiest when I'm having conversations like this with like-minded people. When I'm creating and having a powerful conversations or reinvesting into my own self mentally and physically to work towards that goal, that's when I'm at peace and able to live in my purpose.
What in your life is currently giving you the most amount of peace?
The gym.
Yeah.
The gym, because I know I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward mentally, physically, and just healing my heart.
Right now, currently, that's giving me the most amount of peace is being out of fight or flight and starting over again in a whole new state, in a whole new city. And meeting this man that is teaching me what secure attachment styles are. And that's brought me very much a lot of peace right now, as well as my best friend, who has now been my biggest support system. I call him my daughter's adopted dad. And he's just my strictly platonic best friend, ride or die. And my daughter calls him dad, and I don't stop her,
My family gives me the most peace. I have a beautiful family.
It's amazing.
My wife is just incredible. My children they're teenagers, but I just look at, they have their things, because like teenagers do. But like they do, like there's so much harmony in our home, and I credit that to how my wife and I like just do things and just how we view things. It's mine, and like peace is my home.
Currently, what's giving you the most peace?
Just being in the ocean. And like I said before, it took me being away from all the cameras and the jerseys and this and that. Like when I was back home, I struggled with having to look a certain way or be like it's this image that you always want to carry. But like I told myself, why? Who's telling me I have to be this person? Do what you love, be who you love, and if you love yourself, there's no reason to hate it. And I've been, again, embracing what's in front of me and enjoying it, like taking every little step, regardless, good or bad, and trying to like not take it as a loss, but take it as a learning experience.
I'd say my daughter, my little baby. She's going to be 10 months old in 9 days. And she is everything to me. She was my whole world.
Oh, it's incredible.
And yeah, never felt peace like that until I had her.
When I'm with my boys, they're just so awesome. And to know that I was like a part in creating these two humans that just came out so great. I don't even know how it happened. I am the happiest when I'm with my kids and I'm with my family.
What gives me the most peace is reminding myself, or at least choosing to believe that I chose this, that we're souls having a human experience, and that I chose this at the end of the day. I chose to come here to Earth. I chose to incarnate in this physical body that looks like this. I chose my parents. I chose all of that. And that gives me peace, because on one hand, I know this is temporary and it's not going to last forever, this life stuff, but I'm not saying it in the morbid, dark way that I used to say it before. I'm saying it now in the sense like, let me enjoy this. Let me really play on Earth and like enjoy, the fruits of Earth and, the food that we get and the amazing people that we get to connect with and, the nature and the this and the that and the feelings we get to feel. Because once we go back to wherever we come from, once we die, we don't get to play this game. Right. And so that gives me peace.
What is giving you the most peace right now?
I don't know. I guess my wife got me into bird watching, and we go out and go on hikes and get out in the environment. And it reminds me of my days of paragliding, like being out on a hike and whatnot. It closely associates, and to spot a bird and to see, maybe it's a soaring bird, maybe it's something that pecks on the ground, maybe it's something that patiently waits in the water. And I see all these different identities and these motives of all these different kind of birds. And that has really kind of like allowed me to have a little bit of peace and comfort. And the fact that they're all flying, and I was like, that looks like they're having a really good flight. Or I can see that this is a thermal that is in this hot field, and it's getting pushed up on the hillside, and it's getting released, and they're in that thermal, and they're soaring. And that brings me a little bit of relief to know that it doesn't have to happen to me. I don't need to have that experience. These forces of nature are always happening around me, whether I'm involved in them or not.
I'm a car guy at heart, so like cars bring me like at peace. So whenever like I get to drive with my mom, because she has an M3 competition. Okay. So whenever I get to ride with her, that brings me at peace. And a lot of people don't understand with the car, but my parents are car people too. So like they know like a nice drive or a cruise can let your mind like settle and relax and chill out. So like hanging out with my parents is pretty peaceful. Because like when you get into action like this, like you could have lost all that. So like I guess you don't take it for granted anymore.
What is bringing you the most peace?
That God gave us more to this story. It's not over when she died.
Yeah, just letting a lot of things go. Like I don't allow things to rent too much space, like I said. So it's when I can look at certain things and just be like, is that worth it or not? Mm-hmm. But my son, living in the same house with my son is huge, and his and mine relationship is growing, better. And I had mandatory anger management. When I was younger, I had mandatory therapy, psychiatrists, all that kind of stuff. And when I chose to go to therapy was when a lot of things started to change. Mm. And then within the last 5 years with my therapist now, I've opened up to him and with things that I'd had buried. But with that said, I just want to say that like, it's okay. Therapy's okay. And that's how I find a lot of peace as well, is going and speaking to somebody that's neutral. He looks at me with no judgment. I mean, I can tell him anything.
What gives you the most peace currently in your life?
Fishing.
Fishing.
I was asking myself one day, I was like, man, I feel so much different, so much more different when I'm at the water.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and the facts that the everyday person, if you're in front of a waterway, the ocean, a lake, your stress levels come way down.
Currently, what's giving me the most amount of peace is just staying busy, staying productive, having these type of experiences, these new experiences, meeting new people that I probably wouldn't have never met had it not been for the film. So
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for all that.
What in your life is currently giving you the most amount of peace?
I think it's knowing that there was this search for the American dream, right? And it kind of brings me back to that collection room that, when I walk into that Star Wars room, I remember that little 8-year-old kid, that always wanted these things. And it does remind me of what I went through, my entire life to get to that point. That room for me is my American dream. That represents to me that I made it in my mind, right? Because again, that meant so much to me as a kid. Star Wars meant so much. And to think that room, that Star Wars collection is almost the same size of the apartment that I grew up in with 6 family members. To know that I own a house, that I could have that, I mean, that's huge for me.
What really brings me the most peace, one, is when I get a chance to lay in bed next to my wife, right? That's very peaceful. Like, she brings me a level of peace that is so calming, soothing, and just warm. The second thing would be when I'm post family call. Like, if I just got off the phone with my mom or my sister or my other sister or my nephew, and we've all said I love you, caught up for a second, I get off the phone with them and I'm able to just like get on my game. That shit brings me peace, because it's like, oh, I needed this reassurance in my life. The third thing that brings me peace is when I'm in a movie theater. I've found joy in recharging in watching movies, and I'm submerged or surrounded by this story. There's no other distraction. I'm just in the moment. I'm watching this movie. The sound is blaring. The emotions are getting me because I'm so enthralled in this. That brings me peace because I'm able to escape. I'm able to escape if I've had a depressing moment. I'm able to escape if I have anxiety about something. I'm able to escape because nothing else matters except this movie. I might have my snacks, or I might have brought something to eat into the movie. I got my drink, and I'm just able to go into a different world.
What is giving you the most peace? Time.
It comes and goes regardless of what I want.
Okay.
No matter what happens, it progresses. Have the worst day of my life, time's gonna keep going. Break a world record, win $1 million, time still goes on.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate equalizer in my eyes. It brings the highs down to mediums. It brings the lows down to mediums. Time will fix everything. It continues whether or not you want it to. I can't hit pause. I never will. So I use it to my advantage.